When you think of decluttering your house, are you agonizing over little odds and ends and trinkets that are inside your kitchen drawer, wondering, should I keep them? I'll probably never use them again, but what if I do? And so you save them because you can't get rid of them because they cost you good money. And then if you do need them, you'll have them on hand. Are you one of these people that agonizes over those things? Or do you agonize over the story behind those things? And I ask about the story for this reason. A couple years ago, I tossed away a set of cake decorating tips, and I did it on YouTube, and a whole bunch of my decluttering friends came forward, and they're like, "Why did you throw out the cake decorating tips?" And they couldn't figure it out. They said those were expensive, they were good, they were useful. Why did you get rid of them? Here's why I got rid of them. The story I had told myself was a broken story, and it went like this. People will like me better if I make them a birthday cake and I decorate it and I show up and I deliver it. They're going to like me better. So one day I decided to make a birthday cake. It was for a golfer friend of mine, and I didn't have any golfing experience. I didn't know what a golfing cake looks like. So I spent about an hour online and I went through all different kinds of recipes and all different kinds of cake pans, and I found this really awesome golfing cake. And it had a little plastic golfing man that was standing up to a tee, and he was ready to make a swing, and he had a little golf club in his hand, and it justified the green cake. So you got to buy the little golfing man to go with it, which I didn't have. Now I go down to Michael's and they've got the pan for the golfing cake. All right, so they also had the little man that goes on top. So $22 later, I leave Michael's, about an hour of my time, because I kind of went up and down the aisles to see what else they had. Yeah, we do that too, right? So now I get out of the store and I'm driving down the road. I'm going to go home and make my cake, when all of a sudden I realize I got no way to box the cake up. Like there's a doily. It's like a cardboard doily that's decorative, and you put the cake on top of the doily and you make the cake and you frost it. And then when stuff dribbles down, you wipe it off and then you serve it on that inside the box that you're going to box up and deliver it. Oh wait, I don't have a box either. But there's a party store on the way. I'll go to the party store. When I get inside, they don't have the right size for the cake that I'm going to make. But they're like, well, we got a shipment of stuff in. Hang on, we'll see if it's in the back. So it takes them about 1 hour. Finally, I get my doily. And of course, it's not just one doily, but if you buy a pack of the doilies, then it costs less money, right? So now I bought a pack of the doilies and a couple of boxes in case I screw one up or I get frosting on it or whatever. You need a couple of extra, boxes. So by the time I get the doilies in the boxes, I've spent an $11 at the party store, okay? Just to box up the cake once it's done. So I've got my $22 that I spent at Michael's, I've got $11 that I spent at the party store, and now I'm headed home. And I get halfway home and I realize I don't have the ingredients to make the cake. Wait a second. And this thought goes through my mind. I'm like, what if I bought a cake mix? And I just mixed up the cake and then I decorated it and I acted as if it was my own. And then I'm like, well, if people are going to like me more, goes back to the story we tell ourselves, right? It better be a fresh cake with fresh ingredients and real eggs and real butter and all that stuff, right? So I go to the store and I buy all the real ingredients. All right, now I'm at $40 just for the ingredients and the supplies to make the cake. Haven't even made the cake yet. I'm 5 hours in and $40. Then I go into the house and I schlep all the stuff into the house, and then I start heating up the oven as I mix up the batter. Okay, it takes a few minutes to heat up the oven, and then the cake bakes for 50 minutes. I didn't even factor in the cost of how long my electricity ran for 50 minutes and how much that would cost. But anyway, after the cake comes out of the oven, I got to wait a couple of hours for it to cool down before I can then frost it. By the time I got the cake frosted and I had put everything together for the cake, I'm now ready to go deliver it. But you can't just go deliver a cake. You got to have a card. You got to write something in the card. You got to celebrate the birthday properly, right? You just can't show up with a cake. And so as I packed everything together, it took 11 hours of my time. From the time I started looking for the cake on the internet to the time I ran all of my errands. I was $40 in and I had this awesome cake. And I get to the person's house to deliver the cake. And of course they're like, oh, look at you. You made me this cake. And I got the kudos I was looking for. I really did. And they're like, come in and have a piece of cake with us. Let's take pictures of the cake. So that's another 2 hours where they were kind of my friend. But now I'm spending 2 hours. I feel obligated because I brought them this cake and they feel obligated to spend the time with me. All right, so the question is, the story I told myself is they were going to like me more if I brought them this cake. The truth is this: if you'll start telling yourself different stories, and the different story I had to tell myself was, if time and money is no object, and I have a completely free day to myself, would I spend it pulling out my cake decorating tips and making a cake for a person I kind of know? And the answer is no. No, I would not do that. I have other things going on in my life right now. I might go to the writer's cabin and I might write on my new book for a free day. That is what I would do. Or I might design some graphics for my Facebook groups or something fun, right? I would use my creative resources in a different way than making a cake. So from now through infinity, I'm not going to be making any more cakes. And the story that I told myself once I was really crystal clear about why did I want to make the cake? I became crystal clear on my reasons for why do I always have to make the cakes? Am I volunteering at birthdays and family events going, oh, I'll bring the dessert? I was, but why? It's not that they like me any better if I make the cake. If I'm going to bring something, I can swing by the grocery store and pick up a cake. I'll share a secret with you. There's a Publix that's just 3 blocks from where I live. It's a super cool store and it's got this awesome bakery that sells $30 cakes, right? They're expensive cakes, but they are beautiful and they taste delicious. And so I can swing by there on my way to somewhere else and I can buy the $30 cake. And it is such a cool bakery that they always have cakes in stock. And so even if I'm unprepared and even if I didn't plan anything and even if I didn't order anything, I can just literally swing by and they have a cake waiting for me and they'll box it up and here you go. It's awesome! And so if I can do that, why don't I outsource my cakes and the cake decorating from here through infinity? I don't need to be the cake person anymore. The reason I bring this up is what is inside your kitchen cupboards or your kitchen drawers that you're holding on to, those rolling pins and those mason jars, because what, you're going to start canning again? No, you're not. If you don't have a whole free day to do it, you're certainly not going to do it on a day when you're super busy and you got like 20 minutes to cram in the kitchen. Okay? If you don't have a whole bunch of free time, which none of us have anymore, you're not going to go back to these hobbies that you love, right? Go do something creative with your time that is short, that you can do in bite-sized pieces because you will be interrupted. That's the world we live in. So from now on through infinity, I will be buying my cakes at Publix or somewhere similar. That's why I got rid of the cake decorating tips. The important thing about the story is this. As my life has continued, I've had to go through every single avenue of my life and say, why do I have this? Is it still serving me? And then I have to tell myself a different story. I told myself this story for all these years. And what I realized was if I stopped volunteering, like at a family event, and I stopped saying these words, oh, I'll bring the dessert. Nobody expects me to bring dessert then. I didn't volunteer. I didn't put myself on the hook for it. Nobody expects it from me, and they don't like me any less. I just showed up to the party, and they're like, woohoo, here you are. Tell us what you've been up to. And all of a sudden, I'm like, wait a second, something weird just happened. I like myself better. Forget about those people if they like me. I like myself better, right? So I'm encouraging you. What stories are you telling yourselves? And do you need a new story? If you do, come on over to Hoarding World. It's a Facebook group where every day we have new snippets, new ideas, new challenges, new encouragements, all that kind of stuff to help you in your balancing out of your relationship with stuff.